This is the second and last lecture of Transform. Is it easy to make decisions on your own? Do you trust your ability to make decisions? Do you feel society supports you or derails you? Is it easy or difficult for you to move up in status or power in life? Do you feel supported in life? Who encourages you, helps you, and stands up for you? Who are they, and what has given you reason to trust them? Are you confident? Do you believe in your ability to succeed? Why or why not? What is your perception of yourself? What role do you play to yourself, your family, your community? Where do you impact society? Like actors, we play different roles in different scenarios given. Do you push yourself harder to achieve certain roles because you believe that is the role you have to play? Do you do more for others than yourself because you have given them the role of someone who can't help themselves? What image did you create? Try to see an emotion as soon as it occurs. Process it and think about it to understand its purpose. Do you allow temptations to get in the way of your goals? Do you have willpower and discipline to stay on track? Will you take a short time win over what could be an even bigger gain in the long haul? Do you truly see the value of both, or are you just seeking instant gratification? Do you have a tendency to put things off and say, I can do it later? Does tomorrow turn into a month? Do you forget it completely? Would you rather distract yourself or just complete the task that you know must be done? Do you spend more time avoiding for hours what could be done in 30 minutes or less? Why? Why not? If you think something is unimportant, then don't bother with it. If you know it must be done, do not let ideas of time or unwanted thoughts consume you. It will feel best to accomplish things rather than feeling guilty or upset you've done nothing but avoid and sulk. Are you someone who sticks to their routine because it's safe? Do you avoid change because you prefer what you know over the unknown? Do you prefer past patterns or creating new ones? Do you take shortcuts or the easy way out? Do you try to oversimplify things rather than dealing with complex ones? Do you find it exhausting to try anything that can't be handled quickly? Do you find choosing things to be difficult? Consistency and commitment are key to support. Sticking to decisions and actions matter in creating a respectful or positive image. It creates trust in self and with others. Based on time and options given affect what we choose. Which path is best? Why? How long do you have to decide? Sometimes we feel limited in analyzing and rationality. Whose opinion matters most to you is likely based on who and what you value. Sometimes people struggle not to copy those they view highly. Depending on what is happening in your life, you may get lost trying to be someone else. Doing things a certain way just because you want others' approval does not give you value of self. To do things just because others may not like it may cause you to no longer like yourself. Do not abide by social norms and what others value. What is popular, what is valued, will always change over time. Find what is valuable about you and learn to enjoy your own company. Some people condition themselves a certain way because they fear rejection. They don't want a negative reaction. Sometimes, no matter what you will choose, people will react that way towards you regardless. Do not reject yourself for others. Do not be negative towards yourself for others. Your role in society has certain classifications and expectation of participation. What is your role? What do you classify as? What is expected of you? How do you participate? What are your rights? Are you comfortable with who you are as this person created in society? Based on your traditions, religions, culture, or skills, you may feel as though you have no rights, no choice. Do you fight for what you want? What you are taught to believe is right? Is that what you stand by? Everyone is an individual with their own wants and needs, their own dreams. Always ask yourself, is it a fact? Was it framed a certain way? How was it influenced? How is it perceived? What can you learn from it? Are you stuck in a bubble? Do you ask many people, experts, or just those you know? Are you basing your thoughts toward success only, or are you open to all outcomes? What messages are you sending and receiving? Are you a private person or a public person? Do you like everything known, or to leave it a mystery? How much influence does the world's opinion have on you? How much influence do movies or shows have on you? Do you gossip or listen to it? What kind of information do you have access to or listen to consistently? Do you celebrate your achievements? Do you celebrate the achievements of others? Do you enjoy watching or reading stories about real people? Do you feel supported? Do you like to support others? Do you like learning about people? How often do you change your mind or mindset? Is it stably set, or does it change often enough? Do you change your mind based solely on what you believe, or can others convince you easily? Is there a certain cause you believe in and gather with other people to create change? Are you solely working on changing yourself, or do you feel like you need someone's help? Do you have a role model or someone you look up to? Are there certain people you consider to be successful and want to be like? Are you willing to face the problems that occur in life? How do you choose to act or change things based on the problem? Do you fix all problems the same way, or do you handle each one differently? How do you recognize if there is a problem or issue? Is it easy to see? How much time does it take? How much time do you take before figuring out a solution? Do you spend more time in your mind, or do you take action more? How do you control a situation or yourself? Do you repress yourself often or at all? Do you have specific rules you live by? How many rules do you live by that were taught as a child? Do you live by your own rules, or do you consider yourself more likely to follow rules of society? Are you able to meet your own needs? Do you meet the needs of others? How can you recognize a need? How do you know if you are needed in a situation? Does your community or where you live meet your needs? Do others help you with your needs? What is one thing you try to accomplish every day? Is it difficult? Is it easy? Do you prefer to do bare minimum or give your all every day? Do you do things based on how you were taught, or do you try to invent a new way? If you are trying something for the first time, do you prefer to do it alone or with someone? Do you feel more confident on your own or when you have someone to help? Do you feel confident either way? When you were a child, were you taught things often, or did you have to figure it out on your own? Were you given more structure or freedom? In school, was it public, private, or homeschooled? If you were homeschooled, did you have a teacher, or were you made to teach yourself? Have you ever had a reliable teacher you could depend on? Do you or have you ever had a reliable relationship you could depend on? Can you rely on self? Do you think you have a voice that matters? Is there someone in your life who has a more important voice than you to yourself? Are you in control or someone else? What are your relationships like? Is there trust, respect, kindness? What do you often experience? Do you consider your life a constant fight, or do you try to keep it as peaceful as you can? Do you prefer conflict or harmony? Is it more harmful or helpful? How much access to you do you give yourself to technology, people, or books? I think I rephrased that wrong. How much access do you give to yourself regarding technology, books, and people? I like that better. Which way do you prefer to learn? Do you like one-on-one, in person, or do you prefer learning at a distance? Is this how you've always liked to learn, or has it changed with time? Do you struggle learning things? Is there anything in your life you are afraid to change? Do you hesitate with change, or readily accept it? Do you easily adapt? Do you reward yourself when you do well? Do you reward others when they do a good job? Do you appreciate yourself? Do you appreciate others? How do you interact with most people? Are you sociable or prefer to keep to yourself? If you met yourself on the street, what is your view of yourself, positive or negative? Do you prefer to plan things or just go with the flow? Do you prefer structure or freedom? What is your current situation? What made your situation the way it is? What do you think of your situation? Do others know your situation? What do they think? Is your situation stable or unstable? Are the people around you supportive or unsupportive? Are there things about your situation you don't understand? Have you tried writing what happens day by day to figure out your situation? Do you feel good or bad about your situation? What would you like to change? Why would you like to change it? What is a baby step you can take every day towards a small change? Look at behavior. Ask questions about behavior. Make plans to change you can accomplish. And track your progress. What works? What doesn't? Why or why not? What impacted your goal most? What was the overall outcome? What changed? What still needs work? One single thing can be impacted by many, with many ideas and motives behind it. How do you relate to others? How do you choose to work? What is your preferred environment? What affects you most each day? What awareness do you want to create for yourself? How do you want to influence others? What barriers do you want to break? What activities can you do to create opportunity, motivation, and change behavior? What is the most important change you want to create? What are different ways you can communicate with yourself? What specific emotions do you use to communicate with yourself? Images you can use are helpful to create changes within your mind. An example would be, look at images that make you happy every day to create a positive moment each day. How can you create a support system for yourself? What kind of supportive community can you create online for yourself? How do you listen to yourself? Do you feel heard by others? Do you have anyone you can talk to who listens? Do you have anyone you can rely on that you talk to who listens? Talk to yourself in a video about yourself. Watch it the next day. Observe yourself. Write down thoughts, feelings, and your impression of yourself overall. Today's agenda for you to try. Create a Microsoft Word document for each emotion for a week. Write happy on one and describe what made you happy each day of that week. Create sad and do the same thing. Create mad and do the same thing. Create neutral, where you don't really feel anything, and do the same. After the week is over, take a break for a week from it. The next week, come back and read all of it. What changes were there? Observe. Notice similarities and differences. Write down what affected you most and least. See what made sense and what didn't. Analyze and find ways to help negative emotions and support positive ones. What emotions you felt towards yourself the most show what you think of you. What info are you attracted to the most, the least? What do you spend your time on the most, the least? What do you think are your strengths, weaknesses? Why is this true to you? How do you use, develop, and communicate things to yourself to show how you adapt and change daily? Do you view yourself as a survivor or victim? Are you active or passive? Do you take control or just let things happen to you? Do you support yourself or create more stress? What method do you use to cope with stress? What do you do every day, once a day, for self-care? How do you show up for you? How do you show up for others? How do you parent yourself? How do you parent others if you do that? What is your approach? Do you let things go or hold on to them? Do you hold it all in or let it go? Do you try to control or surrender? What are you committed to? What are you responsible for every day? All your commitments, are they necessary for your existence? Why or why not? Do you feel guilty if you don't complete everything? Why or why not? Are you easily talked into doing things? Why or why not? Is your mind easily convinced, or do you need evidence to back something up? How much convincing or evidence do you usually need? How do you view socializing with others? Is it easy or bothersome? Do you like it Why or why not? Do you feel empowered in life? Why? Do you actively participate in something every day? What is it? Why do you do it? Do you feel like everyone is created equal or should be equal? Why? Are you a judgmental person? Why? Do you hold yourself accountable? Why? What is peaceful in your life? Why? Do you feel this peace often or not often enough? Why? Is it easy for you to make up with people? Why? How different do you feel with others? Do you feel like you can find something relatable at all? Do you feel alone in the world? Do you feel alone with people? Why? How would you describe yourself? Is it mostly negative or positive? Are you a transparent person or do you prefer to keep most things hidden? Why? Do you find it easy to trust others? Why? Do you have many people you trust? Why? Are you comfortable in your finances? Why? Do you believe in justice? Why? Do you consider yourself someone who creates justice with your own hands? Why? Do you think you've grown much as a person since childhood? Do you think your life is filled with opportunities? Why? Do you enjoy uplifting others, or are you more focused on uplifting yourself? Do other people uplift you often? Do you consider yourself a strong person? What gives you strength? How do you view society? Do you have a community or organization you support? If you do, what inspired you to support it? If you have an issue with something or someone, do you address it quickly or slowly? Do you try to fix it at all? Would you consider yourself more sensitive or unsensitive? What are you most sensitive about? Do you view yourself as someone who has disabilities? If you do, how do they limit you on a daily basis? Do you learn things easily? How much practice do you put into learning? Do you try to learn something new every day, or do you think it's unnecessary? Do you see yourself as a successful person? Why is that? Do you have a safe space? What about it makes you feel safe, or do you ever feel safe? Trigger warning. Did you ever hurt yourself on purpose? If you have, how often have you hurt yourself on purpose throughout your life? Why did you self-sabotage by hurting yourself? End of trigger warning. This next part is just my experience in life. It does not matter what you think or feel about others. What matters is what you think about yourself. Your thoughts, your feelings, one healthy person teaching others to be healthy. If just one other person listens, it's progress. Even if no one listens, make your own progress alone. Even if there is no one happy but you, there is still a happiness. Even if someone tries to convince you or teach you to be miserable, it does not mean you have to do what they want. Show them it is your life to live, not theirs to take over. People can't convince or control if you do not let them. Let their words, actions, etc. disappear like they will when they realize you are in control of you, not them. It is your body, your soul, your mind, your heart, your spirit, your life, not anyone else's. No one is you. No one can take your place. You are the character in your story. Choose your story. It's no different than a video game, really. You have choices, options, and you can always take a break to figure out how to level up or beat the challenge you failed like 7 times. One day you'll beat every boss fight. Try, and win your way. This is just my experience, and I would rather view life as a game I can win because I choose to design my character how I want, pick my stats, and even upgrade my skills or pick up useful items along the way. I can pick the mission, the class, and the storyline I prefer. So I ask you, what kind of game are you playing in your own life? If none of my examples or teachings have been helpful or understandable, surely everyone can get this example. Just a quick thought from me personally and my experiences. Back to the lesson. Or I should say lecture. Life skills are considered cognitive, your mind, personal, how you run your life, and interpersonal, how you work with others. What is your self-care routine, and how do you cope with negativity? How you decide on something or how you make a choice reveals a lot about an individual. How do you empower yourself? How do you participate in things? Do you treat everyone fairly? Are you judgmental with others? Do you hold yourself accountable for things you do and say? Are you direct or strategic in your approach to others? Do you just watch everything happen, or are you active in making things happen? Do you feel you have adequate resources to help you in life? Do you feel safe in everyday life? Do you have someone close to you that helps you through problems? How do you feel different from everyone else? Do you bring people together or divide them? Peace or conflict? Do you support people when they don't agree with you, or do you shut them down? What is your way of response? Do you have the confidence and skills to cope with everyday life and interact with others? Nurture yourself. Show yourself positive influence. Learn things at your own pace. Everyone can be successful. Just a little improvement goes a long way. Do you help or hurt yourself more? What are your expectations of yourself? Do you respect yourself and your choices? Do you respect others and their choices? How influenced are you by others' abilities, opinions, and behaviors? Do you stand up for yourself when others pressure you to do things you don't want to do? How do you choose to spend your time, your effort, your energy? Is it mostly spent on your goals or the goals of others? How are your everyday decisions and actions affecting you, positive or negative? Are you meeting your needs more or the needs of others more? This is who you put first. You should take care of you before taking care of others. If others rely on you and no one is taking care of you, how can it all happen if you fall apart? Do you have the strongest influence over yourself, or is it someone else, something else? How do you best support you? Do you support you most? What is your goal in developing yourself? How can you engage and connect more in life? What are you most focused on right now? Do you feel aware of what's going on in your life? Are you understanding of yourself and others? What is your attitude towards yourself, others, life? Do you feel powerful or powerless in life? Do you overcome more or struggle more? How are you designing your life based on the investments you are making? Time, effort, money are all investments. All involve your energy. What does your energy tell you? How can you help to improve your situation? How are you building your way to change? See what you want to achieve, organize to make it happen, and watch the results. Work out things and change them to better adapt to the outcome you want. See what you want to change. Remind yourself every day why you want that change. Watch your mind change, your environment, the people you know. Everything changes. But you are in charge of what changes you want to see. Don't let past issues get in the way of the changes you want now. Trust yourself that you are capable and have faith. Believe in yourself. You can. Change isn't immediate. It happens bit by bit. Sometimes you don't notice the change until it is completely in place. What makes you feel stable? How do you communicate? What is your plan to achieve your goals? How can you implement changes? Know that you matter and impact the world. How do you create your life? What is the behavior you want to change most? What improvements do you want to see in your health and day-to-day life? Why should you be trusted? What about you reflects that you are trustworthy? How are you trying to reach for what you wish to achieve? What are you prioritizing most at this time? Remember to approach yourself in an empathetic manner to better reach yourself. Be nice to yourself. What is the best approach for you to listen to yourself? Is it critical or constructive? Are you just criticizing yourself or trying to be helpful? An example, you are struggling to learn math. Would you A, criticize and say you can't do it, or B, be helpful and say maybe I should try a different way? The way you speak to yourself will reflect on how you let others speak to you. Treatment of self will give similar results. When you try to remain engaged and optimistic, you are trying to be active in a progressive way. An outcome can be achieved, but you are in charge of what you put into it and what results come out. Do you make realistic goals or unrealistic? What do you define as an unrealistic goal? Create a realistic goal and unrealistic goal this week. Look at both goals every day. Each day, at the end of the day, write down if you are closer to each goal and why you think that is. This will give you perspective on thought patterns, behavior, attitude, and whether you are limiting yourself. Why was one more realistic than the other? Consider how aware you are about yourself. Change what you need in order to be loyal to yourself before expecting anything similar from others. When you make a goal, give yourself a time frame and set out to make a difference in the world. Even if you do not reach your goal in the time frame given, notice the progress and not the lack of. Even if you didn't get to where you want to be, when you want to be there, it does not mean it is not going to happen. It just means it will happen different than you expected. Life is not about planning, but living. Create an experience, not a strategy, to better enjoy your growth towards your goals. Connect with others who may have completed what you wish to achieve. There is Instagram, Twitter, Google, TikTok, YouTube, Meta, or you could even call someone you know. Even if you can't reach someone else to help you, help yourself at your own pace. What kind of free resources do you have? What paid resources could you afford? Do you learn better through reading a blog or watching a video? Either way, you gain knowledge and experience, and that is worthy of acknowledging you can and are making a difference. Don't fear the change or how it occurs. Just every day remind yourself why you want to change. Use drive to conquer emotions or thoughts that make you pause rather than fighting for your cause. Create, use ideas, and put them into actions to see how your world thrives. Why is change important? How much change matters? How do you achieve what you want? How will change affect the world? How much time do you give yourself? What is the issue? What could cause it? Can others help? Is there content you can use to help? Are you trying different methods or just one? How do some methods work better than others? Why are you trying? Why does it matter? Does it help you or hurt you? Can you help teach others too? What is your plan to make a difference? Transform yourself. Transform with others. Transform the world. Transform, empower, and impact. Be the most successful you can be. How much do you know about you? How do you know about you? How can you get to know yourself better? How can you learn to work with yourself better? Inspire yourself. Inspire others. Inspire the world. Are you judging yourself? Are you not seeing all possibilities? What sacrifices do you make? How do you interact in the world? How do you view your emotions? How are you learning? Why you matter? Write it down. What promise can you give to yourself and keep? Write it down. Do you have a goal in this life? Write it down. How are you reaching your goal? Write it down. How do you speak and what do you say? Why do you want to reach your goal? Believe in yourself. You are uniquely you. You decide. You create. It's not always how, where, or when, but the why is motive. Your motive creates your priorities. How many people do you come into contact with every day? How aware is everyone you come into contact with? How often do you come into contact with others? Know more, see more, do more, be more. What can you do more of to create better awareness? Look, see, act, create. Be responsible and strong to teach others to be responsible and create strength. In what you do, what do you put into consideration most in doing it? You, others, the world, who or what is it most helpful to? Empathy begins with empathy for self. What do you think and feel? Those are your beliefs and attitude. What you listen to is the information given and taken. What you see is what you observe. What you do is your role. What you're afraid of is what limits and stops you. Your goals are your intentions. All of this plays a role in empathy for self and others, not just a life plan. Always look around you and see who is willing to listen. Decipher why people listen on a regular basis. This information can help understand why others can connect with you in that way. Discover, reflect, commit. Learn, grow, adapt. See, show, teach. How do you empower yourself in a way that empowers others? Do you think you are healthy? What is your definition of health? How does your health differ from those around you? What have you established for yourself? Do you impact the world the way you want? Why or why not? What messages do you stand for and support? How are your messages reaching others? How are you helping? How are you bringing everything together rather than separating? One thought can lead to one action, which can lead to one improvement. Be creative in your approach to get different outcomes in an instinctual way. How vulnerable are you in your approach? How do you respond when the outcome given is unexpected? Even if it doesn't go well, do you compliment yourself for trying? Don't live just to persuade yourself or others. Create trust to create connection. It is not about being tactical, but resourceful. Creating an important resource is important, strategy or no strategy. The more effective the message, the more effective the impact. Be careful of your message so that it cannot be misinterpreted. Context of the message is just as important as the message itself. Just because you think others might not care about your message, know that it is just a thought. It does not mean it's true or a fact. Be someone you can rely on, so you are reliable throughout life or anything that occurs in it. Make sure your message reflects your values. Just because someone doesn't understand the message, it does not make it less valuable. The point is not an advantage, but true understanding. A heartfelt message is much more valuable than a made-up one, not just for others, but for self. Every lie is like drinking poison. Don't be the reason you are ill. Be your own antidote. It is not about expectations or approval. It is about purity of intent. Quality of a message is more important than quantity of messages. A truly meaningful message can reach others in one attempt versus insincere ones with many attempts. A meaningful message can change lives and impact for the better. People may not always mind the truth, but everyone remembers the lie. Don't go chasing rumors when the truth is right in front of you. People who mislead others are more likely to mislead themselves, just as much, if not more. Your words are impactful, important, and meaningful. Make sure you use your power with care. Remind yourself how important you are. Remind others how important they are. Much can be forgotten, but it doesn't take much to remember something impactful, motivational, and meaningful. Rather than be aggressive or forceful with your message, give a gentle nudge. Nurture your statement firmly rather than force it. No one should feel defensive or protective, but receptive and open. Closed communication leads to closed-mindedness. Open communication leads to understanding and compassion. Make sure you match your message. Example, if something makes you sad and you express it, let your tears flow. If you hide your emotions from people, they won't believe your message. You will be repressing yourself and others from your truth. Effective message, effective emotions, effective understanding. Talk the talk, walk the walk. Be authentic to find more in your life. Communicate with people, not at them. Communicate with self, not at self. Express, don't oppress. Safety is more important to utilize than mistrust. If you won't be a safe space, who will? Collect info, identify what matters, discover what message is being sent, even without emotion. Insight is gained solely on this way of gathering valuable information from a practical standpoint. Sorry, I was thinking about a snack. I think I'll have one. One moment. Okay, so I had my snack, and divine timing couldn't be more interesting. So I had some Dove candy, and you know how they have their little sayings. It says, every moment matters, including this one. I don't know if you can see that or not. Divine timing. Interesting. Alright, where was I? Oh, at the very top. Snacks are important. And this is a very long lecture. I have a very long way to go. I have all these pages. Snack time. And if you're curious, I came up with all of this. I took a class and I decided to use that class to turn it into a self-transformation class. It's more so, how should I put it? It's normally about the medical community reaching communities around the world to better understand like medicine and the people behind it and why it's important. I took all of that, learned all the terminology, and decided to turn this into a transformation class. All from this mind. So if I can do that, you can definitely reach your goals. My goal is to transform people, transform the world, heal the world. I'm doing it, you can do it too. Your values create your intention. Your intention should reflect in your messages. This way, people with similar intentions and values can respond and coordinate with you towards a higher goal. Like-minded people create a team that can work together to get a goal accomplished more easily. You don't have to alienate or ignore others with different goals. Simply acknowledge them and keep working towards yours. Wasting time and energy towards others' downfall versus your goal is you organizing your own downfall. You get lost in what they do versus what you want to accomplish. The message, the value of it, what it symbolizes, and how simple or easy it is to understand others is very important. Just like any illness, ill words can make you and others sick psychologically. Negativity affects not only their mindset, but when you send it, yours as well. Don't let your illness consume you or others. If you can't do it alone, get help. Don't shut down or shut off. Remember, you can try before you can convince yourself you can't. The more serious the negativity, the more illness grows within and affects everything around you. If one person tries, they can encourage others to try. I encourage you to try. Remember, you can be the difference you want to see in the world. You can. Live every day in ambition for a better life, not regret of never trying. Remember, every person you can reach is someone you could help. Who your message is for and what your message is for helps to create an intention. If you're not sure where to start, try getting to know someone better before speaking about yourself to better understand what kind of foundation can be created between you and that person. Evaluate what impact you make on someone with each message you deliver. It's all about who you try to reach and your methods as to whether or not someone will listen. Communicate with content that is engaging. The interaction or impact you have with someone will show you how effectively you communicated with them. Give others the kind of feedback you would appreciate to better showcase your communication style. Even if there is miscommunication, it doesn't mean don't speak at all. It simply means your communication style is different. No matter how different we all are, we have a role to play in this world. Figuring out the role that suits you best means trying different tasks to create a better specific role you create for yourself. Everyone has a role unique to them. Always try to find out another's role in life to better understand how to connect with them. What is something you can say someone can find relatable to better connect to? Are there certain trends or ways in society you can do or discuss to find better ways of connection? What is the most informative and quick way to get your message across? Datas, dates, expert lectures, hashtags, contact info can be compacted into a video to help for group causes and foundations you want to get increased support on. Personal stories, pictures, and videos relaying those stories are very impactful and touching. Be mindful of the sensitive content you put out, that it is not too harsh so that it leaves people feeling too distressed or harsh reactions that shut them down. Practice helps you see what is and what is not working to help you in daily life. Practice helps you build structure and utilize tools and resources in a way that best suits you. Test, take action, grow effectively. Be mindful of how you inform or approach. It could cause further hesitancy or resistance to communication. It is not about forcing or making things happen. If you can help one person, they can help someone else, or get your help to build a better community. The goal is creating a better life, and it all starts with you. Do you want to create a better life and transform? There will always be challenges. There will always be barriers. Your role is to see these challenges, to break through the barriers. You are limitless. You have so much to learn and so much to gain through every experience. What type of behavior are you active in most? What is the method you prefer to communicate in? What message do you create about yourself that you most resonate with? What different techniques do you use to adapt to situations and people? What is your impact in the world? What do you create that impacts the world? What is something that is a daily performance you would like to change in your role in life? Do you act differently around others versus when you are alone? What do you want to achieve in this world? Ask yourself. How are my goals impacting my success? Are you patient with yourself and others when you attempt to accomplish various goals? Your data impacts others. Your representation of you impacts everything. What is the best difference in new you versus the old you? How can you continue to use lessons learned to continue to upgrade yourself? What you put into life, you are putting out into the world. Your results of success shows how you've impacted the world, yourself. How much energy, attempts, adaptations, and feedback are you reaching? Are you present, aware, trusting, and using what you've learned to improve life? Start changing, be forever shifting as your imagination reaches goals. Reflect to see how your results impact your actions and thought process. You are your best resources for success. You are the tool of your own driven ambitions. You measure your success. Learn what you like. Reach more for what you enjoy in your happy, healthy life. You design and contribute to everything you experience. What experience do you wish to create today? It's not about what is spent or lost. It is about what you earn and gain. The focus should be what is the best possible thing that can happen right now. Convert what you don't want to reach into what you can engage in instead. Get ideas from others. Get inspired, not deflated from challenges. Create a network of listening, of gaining information. Everyone is data. Everyone is a library you can access. What section will help you to learn more? Uplift yourself and others with the kind of impactful information you value most. Accept accountability, deliver messages, receive feedback, and analyze. Measure your attempts on a daily basis of accessing your goals and assessing your goals. Make one behavior mandatory every day. One attempt towards your goal every day. One step is still a step in the direction you want to go. Trust that your knowledge is important and benefits your life. How do you perceive yourself as a benefit rather than an opposition best? What are you the best at? What information do you agree with most? How do you rationalize what is worth investing in? How are you impacting you long term? What insights do you see in your potential? Open source and third-party survey sample sites like Qualtrics, XM, Google Forms, Report, Voice Matters, and Cloud Research are data sites. Every day, try using a scale towards decisions. You can put option A of what you want on one side of the scale. Put option B of what you want on the other. Under option A, write reasons why you want option A. Under option B, write down reasons why you want option B. Look at your scale and see which side of the scale you prefer. I have a little mini table that I made for you to look at as an example. There's option A, there's option B, and there's decisions. And under decisions it says, what do I want? Which is most helpful? How does it affect my goal? And then I choose. Which option do I prefer? The one to help my goals the most. So if you ever have a hard decision, try that. See if it helps. And if it does, yay! Try this practice to see the intentions of your behavior to motivate changes to improve. Each movement you make is an experiment towards your goals. You help design what trials you will go through, what is important to achieve in communication for you. How is your behavior impacting your evolution of you? How you design your life is how you intervene it. What are you in control of? Do you prefer to act randomly or stick to act based on facts? Programming yourself to be successful in the future is not impossible. It is simply based on acknowledgement. Get to know you, help yourself, learn new things, remember lessons learned, think of what you want to become. It all starts with a thought, driven by an attitude, action, and gives an impact as you leave your imprint on this life. Reading or thinking about something will not impact without doing it. It requires insight to level out behaviors. Create a strategy, identify what actions are best to use to change. Make sure you try to understand yourself and others to create evidence towards creating change. Use action, practice, and guidance to better implement new behaviors on a daily basis. Understand how you impact yourself, others, and the world to create more desired outcomes. How do you measure your achievements? Time, effort, action, attitude can measure progress. Use tools, resources, or assistance if you need more help towards your goals. What you put in is what you will get out of your experience. What you allow yourself to do is what you allow yourself to grow in. What you hold back from is what you limit yourself from. Trust yourself, your instincts, and look for well-intentioned guidance from others. As you improve, you shift the world around you. Even if others stay standing still, you will notice movement within. The more specific you are, the less difficult it is to create goals for your intentions. Use energy as cost, action as payment, and look at the results towards intention or goals. Energy plus action equals your intention. Cost plus payment equals your goals. What are you spending and using towards creating success? An example: working plus studying on your homework equals better grades. The more you do, the more results you'll get. See how you present yourself. See how you engage with others, and evaluate how you view yourself based on presentation of self and others' reactions. What can you learn and discern? Are you best alone, one-on-one, with a few, with a group? When is it easiest to perform? How can you progress? What message do you tell yourself, and what message are you sending to others? Are you proud, confident, and feeling efficient? If someone is not aligned to you, do not be disturbed, do not disregard, simply observe and adjust. Remind yourself that you keep yourself safe and loved. When someone attacks you, tell yourself, I love myself and I will save myself. I trust myself. Observe the person. Do not feel the need to give them access to you or your energy without permission. Tell yourself, I do not give them access or permission to me or my energy. They have negative intentions. Experiment with different designs for your life to see which way works best for you. See what is important for you. Learn to grow. See what benefits you. Approve of yourself. Observe how others react to you, but don't focus on their opinion. Don't focus on being normal, and trust that you know yourself best, not others. If you don't trust yourself, you won't rely on self. You won't take care of self. What kind of behavior or attitude do you give yourself? Are you respectful and kind, or are you insulting or cruel. Don't let others' behaviors or actions get in the way of your goals. It's your goal. No one can stop you but you. You are worth investing in yourself and creating your own happiness. No excuses, just results. Don't just wait, start to create. Your dreams are waiting for you. It's about improvement, development, growth, expansion. Each movement is an opportunity. How you interact with it is up to you. As you learn, you select different improvements towards self. Study, select, and optimize movements in everyday life towards becoming a better you. Inform yourself the best ways you know how. If you feel limited, seek other resources of information, people, books, free resources, or courses online. Everything around you is a source. Even if you don't receive the results you want, do not focus on what did not work. Focus on intention and how you progressed towards it, what worked. Do you remember who you truly are in each moment, in each situation? Do you realize how important you are? Everything you do, every breath you take, transforms and changes the world in each second, each moment. You make the difference. Create beliefs, rules, attitudes that you can be proud of and appreciate yourself for. What is the best way to learn for you? What is the best way of thought for you? What is the most effective actions you can take to benefit self? Lift yourself and you will lift others just through sheer inspiration. Always try to improve and develop yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself. If you're not sure where to start, take a free Myers-Briggs personality test online. Look at your personality. What do you like? What do you not like? How do you create something you like from what you don't? Transform it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to understand answers. Don't be afraid of yourself. Measure self, measure health, measure wealth, and happiness on a scale from 1 to 10. How do you create your goal, and what will you do to achieve it? What can be improved the most in your scale? How important are you to you? How you treat yourself affects how you treat the world. Will you destroy or nurture? Will you simply not care and stagnate as you stand still? You are the motion that creates the wave that affects the world. You agree, you disagree, you are a creature of passion and beliefs. You create things that cause you different emotions. You are worthy of investing in, of boasting, of boosting, of engagement and affection. Influence yourself in the ways you wish to be transformed into. Content creates strategy and causes movement. Everything impacts you. It is simply a question of how you let it impact you, how it drives you, and what it motivates you towards. Sets everything in motion. Experiment, learn, take steps that make sense. Be rational with empathy. Divide your different goals towards one great victory. How can you positively impact yourself? Rethink, find what matters, learn, take risks to achieve, and look at your results. Look at what you have, what you can do, and adapt. Use your greatness to create more great things in the world, Creator. Use survey tools, like SurveyMonkey, Google Forms, Typeform, or YouReport to connect with others in different ways for more feedback. What beliefs and experiences are uplifting you? What gives you confidence? What makes you hesitate most? One second, I'm gonna get a sip of water. How does your thoughts and feelings reflect who you are as a person? What can you do to give you a better experience socially? What motivates you to wake up and try every day? What are practical ways you can take steps towards solving your problems? Guide yourself towards taking steps with tools and resources you need. Learn to adapt to new thoughts, feelings, and people. Motivate yourself towards handling your issues. Create your vision, plan for it, choose what works best, look at what works, find new ways to design, look at your progress, and be proud of improvement. When you think and feel things, do you have confidence and trust in self? Do you let others change your life more than you do? Are you committed to yourself? Be confident, take the lead, face yourself, show the world who you are becoming. Look at your confidence, your intentions, your family. Analyze your health, your friends, co-workers, your beliefs. Understand where you want to go and what will it take to get there. Take chances, be open to feedback, access services you need to create more opportunities. Research, process, gain knowledge. Develop, analyze, plan, work. Create interest where there isn't any by finding ways that make you want to pay attention to it. Create standards to figure out accuracy. Compare goals with others to see if you resonate. If you don't understand something, how can you get it translated into your language or thought process? Ask questions, observe, reflect. Put in effort, figure out status quo, motivate, use thoughts and feelings, ask others, understand issues. Be consistent. What is positive? What is negative? Respond to your surroundings and create new ways of thinking and being. What words do you use? How do you respond? What are your options? What can you remove? How do you assess and understand? What is available? How long have you waited for change? Is there respect in your world? What is easiest for you? What is most difficult? What are you missing in your life? What kind of health program can you create for yourself to have better mental health? What is the goal? Why is that your goal? Who can help you? Who do you trust? How do you protect yourself? What do you think of most? What do you talk about most? Figure out your greatest strength and limitation each time you work towards your goals to better understand how you work towards them. Do you give yourself a proper amount of time to learn and develop? Do you try for quality results through quality efforts in various forms? Understand your differences to rebalance your life. Pay attention to details to identify what outcomes are created. Look at your relationships to educate you on what foundations they are built on. What is the most important about each step you take? What guides the moves you make? How are you challenging and applying yourself? Look at yourself as a child and as an adult. What has changed? Explain your relationships to yourself and what they mean to you. Keep a journal as you research yourself, the people around you, and your environment to help rediscover the different concepts you've created in your life. Compare what you want in your relationships to what you don't have, to better understand the dynamics and how those relationships came to be. Don't wait until you are pushed into the changes you want. Start acting towards them to better flow into them. Who and what affects your behavior on a daily basis and why? Feel free to use the scale of not at all, a little, moderately, and very to describe your experience with something. The more specific you are, the more you can see how impactful something is. Who do you talk to on a regular basis, and what do they say? How do you prepare yourself for difficult tasks? How do you feel when it comes to waiting for something important or unimportant? Is there a difference? What is the first thing you do when you go home for yourself? Why do you like the things you like most? What is most important about you to you? What are you responsible for? How many days do you work in this role? Where do you perform this role? What parts of your job are you most involved in? What helps you show up on time? What causes you to not want to work? What is the hardest part of your day? What do you do when you fall behind? Do you refuse help or ask for it? What do you talk about most? What do you always want others to understand about you? How do you best overcome struggle? What can improve your everyday life? What are your favorite activities to do? How important is your role to you? Do you have special needs for specific conditions? Do you trust the world? Do you like the people around you? Who do you contact for help? Do you want to get to know yourself better? If you had one wish granted, what would it be? And you can't wish for more wishes, because that's what most people would do. One wish, just one. What is the most difficult thing you ever got through? What is the easiest task you ever learned? What do you like most about yourself? What is your best skill? What do you worry about most? What upsets you most on a daily basis? What do you know the most about when it comes to self-care? Do you try to have a good day every day? How long does it take for you to complete your responsibilities? What do you question most about yourself, the world? How safe do you feel by yourself? Do you consider yourself responsible? What is the biggest difference between you and others? How do you try to adapt to new scenarios? Do you need to know all the details before you do something? Do you consider yourself or others more? How would you describe your current status? Do you feel educated enough? How often does something bad happen to you? How do you react to new people? How do you introduce yourself to others? What is your current problem and what steps are you taking towards the situation? What is your attachment style? How long do you take to decide on something? How long do you give yourself to try something? Do you have any habits you think hold you back? How much change has impacted you as a person? How much physical activity do you do each day? What mental strength activities do you practice each day? What is the healthiest thing you do daily? What behavior do you repeat the most on a daily basis? What comforts you most every day? How do you prioritize yourself each day? What are you most grateful for? What do you love most about yourself? What makes you happiest? How do you show yourself you appreciate yourself? What compliments do you give yourself? What is unique and special about you? What matters most to you? How did my Transform lectures change you? Be grateful for yourself. Be grateful you can change. Be grateful to be you. Love yourself. Guide yourself. Know yourself through love and acceptance. Remember you matter and you make the difference. Thank you. Thank you so much. Many blessings to all. Love, Magi Goddess. I hope you enjoyed the second and last lecture of Transform. Till next time.